So you're an n8n and you're trying to do things, but you understand that you need action notes to do things, right? That's exactly what we're going to be covering today. We're going to be looking at action notes, what they are, how they work, and how they are the tools that give you the advantage when you're trying to build your workflows. By the way, for context, the name's Muzi. I am the Grand Alchemist of the Guild. If you know, you know. That's not important though. What is important is my mission, and my mission is to help 1,000 people make their first thousand online with AI and automation, just like I did. And I'm just very excited to take this on and help you get to where you're going. Let me stop yapping and just let me start talking about action notes. This is going to be very quick. So action notes are the hands and legs of your workflow. So as I said before, if you want to do anything in internet, then you're probably going to be doing it in an action note. So they are nodes that either perform external actions or internal actions based on their own logic. And the nice thing about them is that they connect to third-party apps where you are building something, where you're trying to build something on the app itself. So think having a CRM in maybe Asana or HubSpot or something. You can connect to HubSpot and then take that data and then do things with that data and then send it back to HubSpot. You could sort of get leads from somewhere in the internet and then put them in your HubSpot database. Like you can do a lot, and action nodes are the only way for you to do things. Anytime you take any action, it's through an action node. So they take your automation from planning to execution, right? Yeah, I just gave you some examples here: collecting data, making decisions. Action nodes execute the plan. Um, when to use action nodes? So action nodes are useful whenever you need an action. So you need to take an action. I feel like I'm going to be saying action like a million times in this video, but there really is no other way to say it. I'll demonstrate it for you. So this is a Google Sheets trigger, right? So as we said before, if you were around when we were learning about how to think about like building workflows, workflows can be split up into triggers, steps, um, outputs, and then any recursions and inputs. So this is the trigger, right? This is the thing that starts the workflow, and when you look at the information here, it says any update. So if there's any update to whatever Google sheet that's out there, it's going to activate this workflow. It's going to start the workflow. Anything that happens after a trigger is an action. No, anything that happens after a trigger could either be some kind of transformation or an action. So this is a transformation, meaning it's changing the flow of the workflow itself. This is an action because it's sending a message. This is an action because it's updating a sheet. These are action nodes, very useful to understand. Okay, let's go back. So think about the examples here. Whenever a customer signs up, that's the trigger. An action is to send them a welcome email, just like what we just showed you right now. Whenever there's a payment that's processed, that is the trigger. Maybe you're processing the payment through PayPal or something. There's literally a PayPal node, which is insane. So you can notify your team in a Slack message. Another node that exists in there. Whenever you submit a form, right? Hypothetically, someone submits a form through Google Forms or something. That information goes to a Google Sheet. That is the trigger, right? You save the data to Airtable, where you're going to have like a ton more data. Maybe it's going to be like your all-in-one CRM for like handling all of this information from all these different sources. Like it could just be that form. It could be a form for YouTube. It could be a form for X. It could be a form for like all of these different sort of social media points, these touch points where you're getting where you're getting um, where you're getting access to leads, right? Think about it. Whenever a blog is posted, say hypothetically from an RSS feed, what you can do is you can take that content, you can sort of condense it through OpenAI. You can like remake it into something that's tailored for social media, and then you can share it on LinkedIn or Twitter or something. Um, of course, it's not called Twitter; it's called X, but no one really calls it X. Like, it's funny how you call it X, but you still call the tweets because there isn't really any other way to call those. Like it feels wrong to call them X posts, but that's just it might just be because we're too early. Can't see their vision. Anyway, yeah. Here's some famous action notes. We covered these in a recent section. I'm just gonna go over and just show you some of them. So these ones are action nodes because they take action. This is trigger node. It doesn't take action. So you send a message, you send an SMS through Twilio, you send an HTTP request. Again, these may or may not need. These need credentials for sure. This one may or may not need a credential. Um, so Google Sheets again. Whenever you delete a spreadsheet that is an action. So you're taking an action. Airtable, when you're getting a record, that is an action. Taking an action. Sorry about that. Superbase, you're trying to delete a row in your base. That is an action, so you're taking an action. When you're contacting OpenAI to list their assistants, that is an action, so you're taking action. Very useful to understand all of these. So HTTP requests, Slack nodes, Twilio nodes, yeah, Airtable nodes, OpenAI nodes, Notion. Like if you're trying to create maybe a database that people could like look at and see, oh, okay, it's like one place that all your data goes in. That's very useful. Trello or Asana, ClickUp, those are all CRM management platforms. So you can add tasks and you can do manage sort of like project workflows, which is very useful. You can send mobile alerts through Pushbillet. Like all of these are very useful. So yeah, let's just wrap up. So action nodes perform external actions and connect to external apps, basically. And action nodes are useful for performing useful actions with third parties, right? If you want to do things online, right, you already have some kind of platform, you already have some kind of management for that platform. The only way to connect with them might be through API, through an integration, as we've been covering. So when you're taking action, when you're sort of pushing things from your workflow to those things, or you're getting things from those workflows, from those platforms, you do them through action nodes. And there are tons of famous nodes that you can like look at that you can use, and if you use them properly, then you will get the right results. I'm sure you're ready to dive deeper. I know I am. Next time, we're going to be learning about trigger nodes, how to make them start our incredible workflows, and why they are probably the most underrated nodes ever. So I'll see you there, Alchemist, and stay.